Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. All right. And let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. Okay. And they all kind of are in the center and off into this direction mostly. And that's okay. We have a lot of energy kind of focused in one point. Maybe kind of a very specific event, possibly. And the card that I have pulled for you tonight is the High Priestess. And I'm sorry, I'm just kind of looking at this. Okay. This is an interesting cup we have tonight. Kind of some different things going on. Okay, so, now the High Priestess is definitely a card very much tied to intuition, the great mysteries, right? Kind of the being, the archetype that is in those lower initiatory processes that kind of gives you the okay to keep going, right? And basically what this means is that you have been doing some self-exploration, some self-work, building up confidence in your knowing, your understanding, transmuting some of your knowledge into wisdom, coming into a place where you can look at things and really see them from different perspectives. Okay, so you have a more kind of dynamic understanding, picture of things happening in your life, happening in your interior spaces, in your spiritual life. And so this is, can be a place that has taken some hard work to get to. Painful things, processing, hurts, conditioning, abandoning beliefs that do not serve you, which is very difficult, especially when these are beliefs about ourselves, our limitations, and even in the even bigger, abandoning the idea that we don't stand in our own way most of the time. And that's really, that's a big one, right? A lot of times we're the naysayers in our own life. We miss opportunities because of it. We say we can't. I think about this a lot now. So many things in my life I've thought, no, I couldn't do that. Well, now I'm raising a child, a toddler, who, when she gets frustrated, she says, I can't do that. I say, try again. Keep trying. Don't say you can't. She tries again. Then she tries again, and then she gets it. She's so pleased with herself. That's all of us, right? How many times can you think of that you thought, no, I absolutely don't think I can do that. But then you're put in a situation where you have to try and you do it and you maybe even enjoy it. You're good at it. So it's just a thought. Okay, so let's look at this. We have this beautiful figure. It looks like somebody wearing a giant dress or a robe. Very powerful. Hair flowing, arm up. Now I see this two ways. I see here a sacred ibis bird, okay, with the kind of curved beak, okay. I also see it as, if you kind of pull it out a bit, the arm of this person kind of holding some kind of maybe knife or I don't know, maybe like a magical wand or something. So it looks like a some kind of weapon, though. I'm not gonna lie, that's what it kind of looks like. But I want to look at it first as being the ibis bird. Okay, so we have this person who has come into great power within their own life. They look like a mountain, right? In this posture of confidence, knowing. Yeah. Very kind of wise, earthy mother, builder and destroyer, giveth and taketh away, the great doer. And then we have the ibis bird, who is related to Thoth, right? And Thoth is an Egyptian god and a psychopomp having to do with death. A psychopomp is a deity or kind of magical being that assists you from your death, from your body, your soul, or whatever, your light body, whatever it is. Assists you down to the netherworld, the underworld, to go to your judgment. Okay. Also, Thoth is not just a psychopomp, but a scientist, magician, writer. Basically, like, I think the patron of math, logical thinking, but also there were times when magic and sciences, alchemy, were all kind of intertwined together. These were not separate. Oh, and I'm sorry, the cat just knocked it with his tail. These were not separate things necessarily. They there were many, and probably still are. They maybe are not so open about it always, but scientists that also practice different kinds of magic, ceremonial magic, sympathetic magic, plant magic, whatever. So when I see this, I think you are a person who is multifaceted. You are a person who, what we would call like a Renaissance person. Somebody who excels in different skill sets has, has mastered or is, on the path of mastering different different kinds of whatever it is that you are interested in within your career, within your creative life, within your spiritual endeavors. You are probably have various disciplines. And I think that you are in a place where you're feeling very confident about this. You feel standing up erect, your posture, and add attention to the world, to the universe. Your heart is open. You are receiving messaging from the divine, from the patterns in your environment, and, through the practical work that you do as well. Lots of understandings, okay? Now, when we look at this more as a weapon, right, I think that you can have a tendency towards using your knowledge sometimes as a way to keep people at bay, okay, to keep yourself elevated, or it's not necessarily narcissism, but it is a sense of superiority. But I don't think it's genuinely that. I think what it is a defense mechanism. You take pride in what you do. You're particular about how you do things. Probably to some degree your aesthetic, the atmosphere that you live in. But most of all, the things that you are able, your abilities, those disciplines that you have, these things are important to who you are as a person, okay? And we see this person kind of laid out here on the floor. And I think that you are not shy to vanquish somebody if they come up against you. I'm not saying physically, not in the physical world, but I think that, well, maybe verbally, right? I think that you definitely do not mince your words. You definitely do not cower when somebody pushes your understanding of something, or, kind of is critical, or any of these things. I think that you really are a person, just really, really sharp with that tongue. Okay? I know growing up, it was an era, and I don't know if it's still like this. I think now it's bullying or whatever, but, there was such a culture of just kind of what we called clowning on each other. And it wasn't necessary. You didn't go out finding people to hurt their feelings, right? But we would just, just kind of get our digs in with our friends group, and what we would call chopping it up or whatever. And it just, you had to learn to really be very observant, and that art of rhetoric, and just, kind of going to war with your verbals, right? And so I think that you're just definitely a person. I almost think, like, is this like person, I think of like back in the day, like hip hop culture, just really has like an ability to rhyme, to, write poetry, to speak from your heart, right? But also to defend yourself. Like you don't shiver, right? When somebody like comes for you, you're there. And again, this is not about physical violence, not at all. This is about I feel like even in like comment sections, right? You really you have some really funny things to say. I mean, it just that I think that you're that person that really and also maybe, it's not that you you're not out there trying to hurt people's feelings, but you can use your humor, your cleverness to get your idea across without, being crude, vulgar, this kind of thing. Okay, so now I wanted to look at this on this side here. And here we have kind of on this ledge, and then we have a person kind of kneeled, and this person standing next to them. Okay. This one kind of looks like I see like a little devil here. Or like maybe a little Pan, right? With the little leg and the hooven, what is it? The hooves, right? Yeah. And then we have kind of a butterfly. I think of like a fairy, some kind of forest energy, forest being here. And I see, just kind of on this, almost this like uniting of two just kind of magical beings. And, interestingly, I feel like there is a sense of, with the butterfly, the evolution, metamorphosis, definitely. But I feel like there's this sense of bearing oneself to another, especially in this posture. And so I wonder if there has been somebody who has really opened themselves up to you and disclosed maybe part of themselves that they try to hide from others, that they don't speak on. It maybe is something that is embarrassing to them or painful, but they've been vulnerable with you. And I think that in some ways it feels like you've been initiated into this person's kind of sacred space. And I think this really brings both of you closer together. And I mean, honestly, this makes you feel very trustworthy. Now, because we're on this cliff, this is a very fragile situation. How you kind of handle this communication, this openness, the trust that they have given you, I think that that's really going to be so important moving forward. So you must be careful. You must treat this with delicate hands, right? I think that, if it's something that has been hard for them to talk about, just making sure that you are a good listener, right? Don't critique. Don't give advice unless they ask for it. Just listen. Be there. Be their friend. Be their confidant, right? And I think that, through this, there's a lot of trust happening. And I think that you in return will begin to trust them more as well. And I think that that will be kind of a connection where you can kind of share some of your own interior things that maybe you kind of let be seen to some degree, but you don't necessarily speak on it in a very serious way. Okay. And I think that this maybe is a person where that could happen. And there's not too much fear around that. I mean, maybe there's some fear, but this person makes you feel comfortable. Okay. And some of that, and that is, I mean, when it helps with processing things, really, you know, and will it fix whatever it is that you're sharing? Will it change it? Maybe not necessarily, but to be able to tell somebody about something about yourself that you find difficult, that's definitely part of that processing process. Okay, so let's see. We also have, it looks, oh goodness, my bad. We have this figure. Okay, it looks somewhat like a goddess figure. And then we have what looks like a little person, like maybe a little Cupid with the bow. Okay, and so I feel that there is this air of love kind of going on. Is this romantic love? I don't know. But I think that it could build into that. If this is already an existing relationship, I think that this is kind of, the bond is getting tighter and closer and more cultivated, built deeply, rooted, right? And I think that this is an exciting feeling. This is like coming into a new, discovering a new room in a home you've already lived in forever. It's a new place, new atmosphere. It feels bright. It feels loving, safe. Okay, and I think this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, to get to this point, seems like it maybe has been a little difficult because there are those, sharing of kind of things that could be tragic, traumatic, but it's nice to have somebody to share them with. Okay, so I just want to look at right here we have, and I'm seeing this as a serpent, okay, with its mouth open. And I think that this is a sign fully here of knowledge of self. And I think that this just goes along with this whole idea of initiation, sharing, receiving information, being understanding, being receptive. And I think that this deepens your ability to be a person who others are drawn to. This feeling of, we all know these. We know people who, when you just feel that they will understand, they're on the same wavelength as you. They're somebody who that puts you at ease when you are speaking face to face, or privately. And so I feel like this is definitely a power symbol for you, and you are in a very powerful alignment altogether with these other symbols that we've seen. And here, there's not really much tea here. There's a few little pieces. I feel like there's, some emotionality happening. I think stirrings of that deeper love pulsation excuse me, pulsations of a deep connection, an alliance, you know, to really rely on one another in ways that are healthy, right? That you can speak freely with this person, and they will, you know, have your back, okay? Some amount of being unrestrained. Okay, I want to thank you. And I'm going to hurry up because this camera is getting wonky. Been doing all these readings, and the last one of the night, sometimes it starts to get a little warm. So anyways, I want to thank you. If you would be so kind as to like the reading, the video, it helps us get into the algorithm, and we are really growing the channel. We're becoming quite a community here. I appreciate all of you. I really do. Especially, you know, I'm starting to really recognize people and their names and stuff on there. And I really look forward to hearing from you all and interacting. And so if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It will let you know when the next videos are coming out. We have just hit 10K, so let's just keep growing. Other than that, yeah, the comments, leave a comment. I will get back to you. Definitely. I read all of the comments, and it might take me a day or two. Sometimes it's immediate, but, other times it takes like a day or two to get back, depending on what's going on. Right. So anyways, thank you. And we'll talk again real soon.